Good evening. Welcome to another episode of OmenG's Stupid Scary Stories. If you like stupid scary stories about whatever the hell pops into my head, or maybe if you want to leave suggestions and such in the comments section, whatever stupid stories and things pop into your head, well, hit the subscribe button and give me a like if you enjoy what you hear. And if you want to be notified when I do drop a story, because I don't do them every single day. Most of the time I do, but not every day. Just hit the bell notification so you can be notified when I do. Now, without further ado, let's get down to tonight's tale of terror. Or just stupid nonsense. Whichever one happens to come first. Now, yesterday, we had a whole bunch of snow on the ground. Most of it's melted away today, but we had a lot of snow. So, my kids went outside. They built this, midget snowman. Serious. It's a midget snowman. It wasn't very tall. I'd say maybe, at the most, 2 to 3 feet tall. Right? Had a red golf ball nose. Some black eyes. Don't know what they used to make the eyes. Sticks for arms. He had a hat, right? I'm looking at them make this. I'm like, oh, aren't they having lots of fun? I never made a snowman when I was younger because the snow where I was from used to get filled with sand and dirt. So by the time you had a chance to play in it, it was brown. And it wouldn't really look like a snowman so much as a mound of shit. So it was fun to watch them make a snowman and have fun doing it. So I was excited for them, you know what I'm saying? I even helped a little bit, just a tad. I made the mouth of the snowman with smiling and shit, right? They put it on the side of the yard so you can see it outside, the window in the middle room there where we sit down and eat dinner and shit. And I noticed something immediately after they made this snowman. And I don't know exactly why this happened or how. Might have been something to do with the hat that I found in the basement. Now, when we moved in here, there was a few things left behind by the old owners. And this particular hat I found amongst some old photographs and things. Really, really old photographs. I'm talking 1940s and shit. This is World War II era. I'm serious. We're right before it. But old is what I'm saying. So I don't know exactly how old this hat is or who it belonged to, if the person passed away here or passed away somewhere else. And this is actual true fact, right? Or is it? No, it is. It is. I really did find an old ass hat in a trunk with a bunch of old ass stuff. I even found an old ration. If I felt like getting up and walking out there and showing it to you, I would. But I'm not going to do that because then that would leave you guys staring at a blank screen for a minute. And you don't want to do that. So one of these days, if somebody reminds me, I'll show you guys the ration because it's real. I'm not joking at all about this. This is serious stuff. Anyway, right? So, we put all this stuff on the snowman and everything. And, I'm sitting at the table reading a book. And I'm looking out at the snowman, who appears to be leaning backwards as if he's looking up into the fucking window. And when they built him, he was standing straight up and down. So I found this to be quite peculiar that he was leaning back but hadn't fallen over. I mean, he should technically, by the, laws of gravity and physics and such, just fall right over, but he didn't. He's leaning. Now, like I said, most, if not all of the snow has melted. He's still sitting on the side of our house in grass now, staring up at the fucking window. Right? I was eating dinner tonight. Fast forward to tonight. And I noticed that one of his arms is not in the same position as it was when they made him. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of pointing towards the window and shit. I'm sitting down eating dinner and I'm looking at this. I'm like, do you guys notice that the fucking snowman seems to be leaning, number one, and he's pointing? Like, what the fuck is he pointing at? Why is he pointing? Did you guys go out there and fuck with the snowman? They're like, nah, we didn't fuck with the snowman. We built it yesterday and we left it alone. What's wrong with you? Like, well, it looks like he's looking at us and pointing. That's what's wrong with me. Shit, what the hell is wrong with you guys? Don't you notice this craziness? He's leaning back like he's been drinking or something. Like, Dad, he's just, I don't know, Dad, he's just fucking snowman. Who cares? Okay, you know, who cares, right? So me being a little bit more perplexed than the rest of the people in the household here, I go outside to investigate. You know what I'm saying? Go on the side of the house. I notice it's a wonderful crescent moon tonight. And the sky is so nice and clear that you can actually see the rest of the moon that's not shiny and beautiful. Which, from where I was from originally, there was so much light pollution, this was abnormal. But this sliver of light just so happened to be shining right on the snowman. That's when I noticed something about this snowman that I hadn't noticed a little bit earlier. None of his snow had melted. Not even a little bit. And I'm telling you, it was nice and warm today. All the snow is gone. Now, just to give you an idea, just to give you an idea so you can understand, you know, that I'm not making up this shit. I'm not making this shit up. I want you guys to know that. I'm going to show you quickly a picture of all the snow and the snowman. See that? That's the snowman. That's the snow. Now, at this point, there is no snow around this snowman. Most of the snow, as I said, has melted. Except for the places where there's huge piles of it. And there are no huge piles, therefore there's no snow, except for him. And he's on a very sunny side of our house, so I don't understand it. But anyway, back to what I was saying. The light from the moon crescent was shining on the snowman. And beyond noticing that he hadn't melted, I also noticed something else. It looked like he was fucking breathing. Like, nah. What the fuck is the snowman? They don't breathe. Nonetheless, well, he should have melted. Why isn't he melted? So, you know, me being me, I approach the snowman cautiously. Got a stick in my hand. Go up to him, about 5 feet from him, maybe a little bit less than that. I don't know how long the stick was exactly, but the length of the stick in my arm extended. And I poked him with the fucking stick. And he said, ouch! I was like, oh shit! Fuck! He turned his snowman head, looked at me, and was like, what the fuck did you do that for? I was like, dude, you're, what? How the fuck is this possible? You're a fucking snowman. You're not supposed to be alive and shit. This isn't like Frosty the Snowman. And she's like, no, I'm not fucking Frosty. That's my goddamn cousin and shit. Jesus. I'm his friend Jermaine. I'm a midget, obviously, because you guys built me that way, and I don't understand why. But glad you did. Now I can live out my life and do midget snowman shit. Like, what exactly is midget snowman shit? Like, what do y'all do? You know what I'm saying? I'm curious. Scared, but curious. It's like, oh, you know, snowman shit. Like, no, I don't know what snowman shit is, obviously, because I'm not a fucking snowman. So why the fuck would I know what snowmen do, huh? Come on, stop leaving me in suspense here. Tell me what it is that you do. We go around throwing snowballs at people and shit, you know. Icing up their porches so they slip and fall and bust their heads. It's like, that's not very nice. He's like, no, who said we were fucking nice? Anybody say anything about being nice? I said, well, Frosty the Snowman is nice. He's like, I'm not fucking Frosty the Snowman, goddammit. I'm Jermaine the Snowman. Fucking Maine. Did I say my name was motherfucking Frosty, bitch? I was like, whoa. Hey. There's no need for that kind of language, Frosty. I mean, Jermaine. Sorry, I didn't mean to disrespect you and shit, but, you know, I've only known of one living and talking snowman, and that's, you know, Frosty. It's like, how are you alive? Where do you come from? Why are you alive? Well, check this out, bitch. You know that hat that you put on my head? Well, guess what? Had the leftover spiritual energy some dead guy. I don't know who the fuck he is, but it was some spiritual energy of a dead guy. Combined with the moon's light, caused this reaction in the snow and made me who I am now. A living snowman named Jermaine. I was like, look, Jermaine, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've dealt with my fair share of supernatural and paranormal bullshit. So whatever plans you have, they're gonna have to be on your time, and you do what you're gonna do without my assistance. Cause I'm not helping, I'm not participating, none of that shit. Alright? Have a great night, Jermaine, and hopefully I don't see you again. It's like, what do you mean hopefully you don't see me again? I'm your fucking snowman. Y'all built me and shit. I'm linked to this place. This is my hallowed ground. It's blessed with the light of the moon now, and here I will have to remain when I need to recharge my energy. So you're gonna leave, go do shit, and then come back here is what you're saying. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. And you don't need me to help you do it. No, the fuck would I want to be bothered with your ass for? You can't, like, ice stuff over. I was like, yes I can. What are you talking about? How? I said, look, check this out, right? If I get a big ass bucket of water, right, and I throw it on the front porch and shit, it'll ice up, it'll freeze. He's like, yeah, but you gotta wait for that to happen. He said, I can instantly freeze shit. I was like, no, you can't. Stop lying. Show me, right? So, me and the snowman go walking down the street and shit. People are looking at me like I'm fucking ridiculous because I'm walking around with a snowman. They're thinking, wasn't Halloween like 4 fucking months ago? Why is this guy out here walking with his kid in a snowman costume? That's ridiculous. Which worked out for me because, you know, I didn't want people freaking out. And I really wasn't thinking about what was going on because I was just kind of had to prove this idiot wrong and see if he could really do what he said he was going to do. Even though I told him I wasn't going to participate in shit, this seemed like fun. And he wasn't trying to do anything fucked up to me. So I figured, why not? Let's go have fun with Jermaine the Snowman. Midget guy. You know, get down the street and shit. He goes up to this porch. It's got like 10 steps coming down like a small slope. He says, watch this. So I'm watching him, right? He waves his little stick hand with his little stick fingers. And like little icicles and shit come flying out of him, hit the steps. And I see the steps immediately turn to like a solid slide of ice. It was at that moment somebody came out the door. Don't know why they came out the door at that moment, but they came out the door at that moment. And they slid right down the fucking iced up steps. Into the street they went, hit by a car. Pow! That was fucked up. I didn't think you were gonna like get anybody seriously hurt. You know, sliding down steps, bumping your head and ass is funny, but that person just got hit by a car. He laughed. Oh, I'm not even done. I'm just now getting started, man. You haven't even seen the most of what it is I can do. I haven't? I mean, beyond like snow shit, what can you do? Ever wonder what a snowman eats? Not really. No. Can't say I have, you know. Never even pondered that snowmen lived, you know. I grew up, Frosty the Snowman was a claymation. You know what I'm saying? I knew it was fake. I knew there was no such thing as a talking snowman. He's like, oh, by the way. I'm like, yeah, what up? Why didn't you give me a fucking scarf? It's cold out here. He starts laughing again. I'm just looking at him like, this guy's got motherfucking jokes, obviously, you know what I'm saying? This fucking asshole. But, hey, you know what? He's not fucking with me. He's not fucking with me. And the person who got hit by the car was okay. They didn't, you know, get killed or anything. Broken leg. Nothing serious. Nothing serious. I called 911 for him, you know. Said, hey, you know, I have no idea why you slipped and fell down your steps like that. Yeah, why is your kid in a fucking snowman costume? He just loves wearing his snowman costume. You know, what am I going to do about it? Maybe you should get him some psychological help. Fuck you. Maybe you shouldn't get hit by cars walking down slippery stairs, bitch. I mean, sorry. I hope you're feeling better later. Anyway, me and, you know, Jermaine made our way to a grocery store. Now, I'm thinking to myself, what's this guy going to do here? What's he going to do? He asked me if I knew what snowmen ate and shit. So I'm thinking maybe he's going to show me in the grocery store what they eat. And I'll be surprised by it because why do snowmen eat these things? And that's exactly what he did. goes to the aisle and he finds the hot sauce. I'm like, don't tell me you love hot sauce. He's like, yes. Are you fucking kidding me? Hot sauce? It's the greatest thing in the fucking world. I'm like, yeah, but you're a fucking snowman. Like, why would you like hot stuff? It's not like it's really hot. I mean, you can make hot sauce smoothies. You can make hot sauce milkshakes. You can make cold, icy hot sauce. You can put the hot sauce in the refrigerator and it's cold hot sauce. It's not cold sauce. It's hot. Why does it matter? I like hot sauce, he said. I'm like, okay, fine. No need to get upset. So, he starts grabbing these bottles of hot sauce. He got some Frank's Red Hot, some Tabasco, some Texas Pete's and shit. He's putting them in his little carriage and shit. Or basket. One or the other. I can't remember which one it was he had. I think it was a basket. So he puts them in a basket. He's got like 10, 15 bottles of hot sauce. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe I should tell him about my collection of hot sauce. He'd probably find that to be pretty cool if I told him about my collection of hot sauce. But then I was thinking to myself, if I tell him about my collection of hot sauce, he might try to eat them all. And I'm not too, keen on sharing my hot sauce with anybody. Except for my family. Sometimes. Not all the time, but, sometimes. Anyway, so we go to the cash register, and the lady looks down. Oh, it's so cute. Why is your kid still wearing a snowman costume? It's January, Halloween is over, and so is Christmas. I said, and so is this fucking conversation, bitch. Why are you asking me questions about what the fuck my kid does? Don't worry about what my kid does. What is your kid doing? How about that? Huh? Do you know what your kid's doing? At least I know what mine's doing. He's wearing a goddamn snowman suit, and he's enjoying it. Why don't you let him have his joy? That moment, I noticed she had stopped talking and froze in place, pointing at, Jermaine. And I was like, did you do what I think you just did? He's like, yep, let's go. I'm like, okay, fuck it. So we walk out the door, she's frozen. I was like, so is she gonna die? He's like, oh yeah, she's definitely dead. I'm like, are you serious? Like, yeah, what do you think, I freeze people and they live? I mean, what happens if you freeze to death? Yeah, you die. So yeah, this isn't some Frosty the Snowman, magical frozen shit, and you come back to life, oh, ho, 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 ho. No, it's not like that. When you're frozen, you're dead, and that's the way it is. I insta-freeze the fuck out of people when they piss me off. And I'm about sick and tired of being told I'm some little kid in a goddamn fucking snowman suit. Can't they see that this is real fucking snow? I'm like, look, maybe they can, and they just don't want to face reality that there is a little snowman walking around, so they just assume that you're walking with an adult, so you must be a child. I mean, shit. Would you rather it be something else? I mean, what if they figure out that you really are a little miniature snowman, and they, try to hit you with heat lamps and shit? Oh, that would be fucking terrible. I'm like, exactly. That would be fucking terrible, wouldn't it? They'd melt you. And I'm kind of having fun watching you do stuff, except for, killing people. Don't do that again. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. It's not cool. I mean, it's definitely not. It's just not nice. Don't do that. It's not a nice thing to do. So, he's guzzling hot sauce while we're walking down the street and shit. Just guzzling this shit. And I'm thinking to myself, how is a snowman consuming anything? Like, how? He has no internal organs and shit. He's just made up of snow, right? Wrong. The magic of the hat, spirit, energy, and light of the moon turned him into an actual physical being, just a miniature snowman encapsulated the, rest of this being. Now I asked him, if I pile more snow onto you and shit, can you get bigger? He's like, oh yeah, exponentially. As much snow as you pile on, I can take the form of it and form it into my new self. Now, of course, in the back of my head, I'm not thinking that this is necessarily a good thing to do, because see, at this size, he's somewhat manageable, except for the fact that he can instantly freeze shit, and he isn't, showing me any reason for me to be upset or worried. He's cool with me. It's just the occasional killing of people that I'm not really too fond of, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, right, we're driving down the street, walking, and driving up the street towards us is a car, obviously, because it's driving. The person sticks their head out the fucking window. And I'm like, oh God, here we go fucking again. Hey, buddy! Why the fuck is your retarded ass kid wearing a goddamn snowman suit, costume, in the fucking middle of damn January? Fucking Christmas is over. So's Halloween, little kid. Take off the goddamn costume. Fucking grow up. Jermaine did not like that shit at all. And it was at that moment when I seen exactly what some of this crazy thing's powers were. Now, without even changing shape or moving, he somehow appeared in this man's car, just right in the seat next to him. Right? Guy turns and looks as he's driving, obviously, into the passenger seat and sees the snowman sitting there. Except Jermaine's whole face changed, became evil, angry. You know? He jumped or bounced on top of the guy, like a big snowball smashing into somebody, right? And, you know, he splattered. I'm like, oh shit, no, Jermaine! But it wasn't the end of him. I started to notice the snow began to absorb the guy in the front seat. Almost like the snow was acidic and absorbent all at the same time. So it was like melting this guy down and absorbing him all at the same time. And it looked extremely painful. It sounded even more painful because this guy was yelling and screaming bloody fucking murder. Ah! 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 God! Oh, Jesus! Help! Ah! Ah! Car crashed into a pole and shit. I jumped to the side, into the grass, just looking at this. After he finishes wiggling around and screaming and yelling and shit, the door opens, and out comes Jermaine, all back to normal and shit like nothing ever happened. Sloshes over to me, says, come on, let's go. Now at this point in time, I'm a little nervous. You know, I don't want to set this dude off and watch him do no shit like that to me. So I'm already thinking as we're walking how I'm going to get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? I know that's a terrible thing to think, but he's going to keep coming back to my house if I don't figure out some way to get rid of him, right? Of course he is, because he told me that this is where he lives. I couldn't have that. And then one day he might see us doing like a Shots of Chaos hot sauce review, realize that I have some really legendary hot sauces in my collection, and then he might try to take them. And that I can't have. I can't have that. So, you know, as we're walking back, he's telling me the stories of the things he wants to do, places he wants to go and see. You know, and I'm all wondering in myself, like, don't you have to melt? It's like, no, I don't fucking melt. I thought we established that shit already. Jeez, man. Just because I'm made out of snow doesn't mean I'm still snow. I can do cold shit, like ice and snow and things, but I'm not snow anymore. Unless, of course, you hit me with a really, really, really hot-ass lamp, which would pretty much kill anybody. Even you would die if somebody hit you with a super hot lamp. You'd burn to death. It's the same premise with me. Except, you know, after a certain temperature, I melt. I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting to know. So what about the hat? What if I took your hat? It's like, don't touch my hat. I was like, I didn't say I was gonna touch your hat. I'm just curious. Do you need the hat in order to survive? I just need to know these things, Jermaine, just in case, you know, you try to turn on me and shit. I'll snatch your fucking hat off your head. And, you know, and then I thought to myself, why am I telling him what the fuck I'm gonna do? What is wrong with you? You're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. He looked at me cross-eyed. You know, I don't know why he crossed his eyes when he looked at me, but he did look at me, and he was kind of cross-eyed. He said, listen, alright, me and you don't have any fucking problems right now, okay? If you want to keep it that way, keep thoughts of like what happens when you snatch my hat, you know, out of your mind. Don't worry about what happens if you snatch my hat. Don't snatch my hat, just keep your fucking hands to yourself. I'll keep my hands to myself, you keep your hands to yourself. Just as he finished saying that, somebody walking down the street stopped us and gave him a couple of pieces of candy. Said, hey, I know it's late and all, and for whatever reason, you're still out here in a goddamn costume and shit, but here's some candy. Nonetheless, enjoy. Bye-bye. Kept on walking. I'm thinking to myself, he's gonna be mad. He's gonna do something fucked up. But he didn't. And it was cool because he didn't do anything fucked up. So, we got back to my house. He goes and sits in his little spot in the yard, right? I'm like, look, Jermaine, don't do anything crazy, alright? You know, don't kill anybody and then come back here. Because everyone has seen you with me now. So if they see you by yourself, they're going to assume that you're some kid in a costume that lives at my house. And then they're going to come back here and probably attack one of my kids. I don't want that to happen. You know? So, you know, be good. Go out tomorrow or tomorrow night. Whenever you are able to go out and shit. He's like, well, I can't go out during the daytime because during the daytime, since the light of the moon isn't there, I can't be active. So I'll be stuck just sitting around in your fucking yard. So I am going out tonight and I'm gonna go do some funny, crazy stuff. Oh, shit. You would think I'd had enough of all this nonsense. You would think I've had enough. And I really have had enough. But I wasn't gonna turn on the dude because he didn't do anything fucked up to me. You know what I'm saying? So I came in the house. I sat down. I watched some TV for a little while. Then I decided to go back outside and check on him just to make sure, you know, he wasn't doing anything crazy. Walked out the door, went to step foot on the porch and slid. Flew off the fucking porch, smacked my fucking tailbone on the bottom of the steps. My legs went numb. I'm like, big ass icicle comes off the roof, stabs me in the leg. God damn it, Jermaine, why? He comes out from around the corner of the porch. He's like, I told you not to be worried about my fucking head. I said I wasn't worried about your head. I was fucking watching TV. Wasn't even thinking about it. How do I know that? Huh? You should never ask me that question. You should never ask me that question. I said, look, Jermaine, Jesus Christ, this shit hurts. Oh, why'd you do that? Why? You didn't have to do that. I wasn't gonna bother your head. I thought we had an understanding, man. I thought we had an understanding. Shit. It's like, look, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. Okay? I don't trust you. I was like, what do you mean you don't trust me? Wait, hold on now, Jermaine. I don't like the look on your face. I don't like what you're doing with your hand right now. I don't like what you're doing with your hand. Don't insta-freeze me. Don't insta-freeze me. Chillax. Please. Chill. You know, my kids heard me because I had left the door open. They heard me when I fell and busted my ass. My youngest son comes out. Just so happens he had a big ass pot of boiling hot water. I don't know why he had a big ass pot of boiling hot water. My son does random ass shit random times of the day. He's just random. That's what he is. He's a young kid. He does random stuff. I can't explain it. Anyway, he has this big ass pot of fucking boiling hot water. And he throws it. And it hits me. Ah! Damn it! Miles! Shit! Fuck! God! It's like, oh, sorry, Dad. I didn't mean to do that. It was an accident. I kind of slipped on the porch. Water splash. It's like, what are you doing out here anyway? I heard you screaming and yelling and shit. You okay? Starts laughing at me because he thinks it's fucking funny. And it's not fucking funny. And, you know, when they threw the hot ass boiling water on me, it melted the icicle. So he didn't see that there was a big ass icicle stuck in my fucking leg. Now, at the same token, he also didn't notice that the fucking snowman was sitting there talking to me. Don't know how he didn't notice it, but he didn't fucking notice it. He turns around and is like, I'm gonna go tell Jaden that you're sitting here on the fucking porch and you busted your ass. Ha ha ha. He goes back in the house gets his bigger brother. His bigger brother comes out and immediately notices that there's a fucking snowman sitting right there. And he's like, hey dad, what the fuck did you do with the snowman? And why did you bring it to fucking front yard? Why didn't you leave it on the side of the house where it was at? I was like, do you really think that I moved the fucking snowman? Would y'all come help me? My leg hurts and this snowman is mad at me about something. He thinks I want to take his hat. The snowman looked at them and said, hey, don't mind your fucking business. Don't you come anywhere close to me. My son's like, oh shit, he talks. That's cool. Awesome. Right? Goes over to him, starts asking him like 1,000,001 fucking questions. 1,000,001 fucking questions. Like, what's it like being a snowman? Oh my god, do you have a snowman wife? Do you have snowman kids? Oh my goodness. Oh, is there a snowman land? You know, just fucking asking him question after question after question. And Jermaine couldn't take it. He couldn't take it. It was too much for him to take. And his head exploded. Poof. Snow was everywhere. And so it was like, you know, Jermaine brains and stuff. And the hat flew off. As soon as the hat did this, all of a sudden the rest of the snow just melted. Like regular snow's supposed to melt. Just melted. I was like, oh my god, Jaden, Miles. Oh, Miles, thank you. Thank you. Jesus. You annoyed him to death. It's wonderful. All those goddamn questions. I knew one day that they would come in handy for something. Help me in the house, help me in the house. Helps me in the house. Sits me down on the couch. Nursing my wounds and shit. I was just thinking to myself, I gotta go tell the rest of the world about what happens when you build snowmen and put old ass hats on them that have been found in your basement and shit, and then the sun, you know, the light of the moon hits them on the side of your house. It's trifecta effect. Old hat, spirit, light of the moon, side of your house. Bam! Living snowman. You don't want that to happen. You don't want that to happen. Trust me, you don't want that to happen. You don't want that to happen. Because what if he turns on you? He'll freeze you and shit, and freeze your porch. You see what he tried to do to me? If it wasn't for my kids, especially my youngest son annoying him to death, I would not be here right now. He probably would have killed me. In fact, I know he was going to kill me. He was doing his little thing with his hand. He was going to freeze me to death like he did that bitch, and I'm not trying to have that. Or he would have jumped on me and, like, absorbed me into him and then, you know, stayed a midget somehow. So thank you all. Thank you for joining me tonight for another one of my stupid-ass scary stories. Number 49. Jermaine the Snowman.